Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of A&W Podcast. I'm your host, Mr. Walls, aka WALE.
And I'm Mr. Africans to everything. Welcome, guys.
Yes, on today's topic, we will be speaking about something that's very near and dear to us. And the topic today would be focusing on fatherhood.
Yep.
The importance of fatherhood, the importance of father's love, and the importance of father in a child's life. So to kind of start off, I would like to say, personally, I'm a father. I've loved every moment of it. Some of it can be challenging, some of it can be testing, but I will not trade the place of being a parent or father for anything else.
Also, myself, I'm a father of two, and I'm freshly new into the fatherhood, and I'm learning as we go. I've always wanted children, and I took my time before I decided to have children. So it's been a roller coaster since I've been a father, and I enjoy being at their life, being in their presence, and also trying to let them see me as a superhero as I am.
I mean, so, is right. Most children, when I was growing up, the person that I wanted to impress the most, the person that I seek regular approval from, was mostly my dad. And main reason for that is because as we are being raised up, we're meant to look at our parents as our first heroes. These are the people that kind of like gave us life. These are the people that kind of shape the way we think from early years, and the importance of both dad and mom being in a child's life is what we're trying to sort of speak on the subject. And how, yes, even though in some situations the father and the mother might not get on, and when that does happen, we still need to be able to show the child unconditional love. Yes, easier said than done, and I know a lot of people have experiences, both positive and negative one, but I feel like the main foundation still needs to be in place in terms of the child feeling the fatherly love and the motherly love.
Yeah, I remember growing up with my father, especially when back in Africa. One thing I noticed about my dad is that he was always out and always going to the office, always working, always trying to provide. And every time he comes home, I get excited. Oh, I'm so happy to see him. Even when he's going to the office, I'm always crying, like, I want to come with you, I want to go with you, like, I want to be with you, you know. But as I got older, I missed the presence of my father because we were living separate places, you understand. But even as far that he's not with me, every time I see him, it's like the love is always there. I'm always happy to see him. I remember times when we go on trips in his car and would take us for a spin, and then we'll be screaming in the back and looking like, our car is faster than that car, you know. And that was the joy of fatherhood for me. Like, yes, my dad is my hero, and I love every bit about him. Like, even when he is militant towards me, when he smacks me, I still have that love for him. And sadly, he lost his life, and I miss him so much because I didn't get to spend so much time with him to talk to him about being a father, the experience that he had as being a father, and so that he can teach me how to be a father to my children. So I miss that every single day of my life. And one of the advice I'm gonna say to people that still have their fathers and they're still in their life, get to speak to them and ask questions, because when they're not here anymore, and one thing I noticed that most of our fathers don't last, they don't live long.
I mean, to kind of touch on what he said, the love of a father is unconditional, and the love that a child has for parents is unconditional. I mean, like he said, my father passed away in 2010, and 11 years later, there's still days that I have memories of him, and it can be quite emotional. it can kind of make you feel down, because that presence, that figure, the father figure, can never be replaced once they're gone. And also, like my brothers said as well, anybody that's out there, especially for boys, any boys or young men that's out there that their fathers are still alive, yes, I get it that you probably haven't had the best relationship in the past, but just to make you understand the importance of building this relationship, if your father is not in your life to guide you, just to clarify, some are not lucky enough to have their fathers in their life, but as long as you have a father figure in there, a role model, someone that would kind of like guide you through this testing life, because fathers don't get enough credit. I'm sorry to say that. And a lot of us go through mental challenges, mental struggle, financial struggle. It's bad enough that trying to provide for yourself is tough, but now having to deal with the issue of not getting the support that you need from your household because of financial difficulties or differences, it can be daunting. It can have a lasting impact on the children. And we as parents, we need to understand that the people that are mostly affected by whatever decisions we make are the children. You know, I remember growing up, I wouldn't use my own personal experiences, but I want to touch on a few things. There were times that I wish my dad was there to teach me the basics. Things like how to shave your pubic hair, how to shave your facial hair, how to talk to girls, how to manage your emotions when it comes to love and affection. These are things that a father can show a child, a son. Even with girls, if a father shows his daughter what being valued is, what true love is, that daughter would always have that standard of expectation for any potential boyfriend or partners in the future that they would go with, because their dad has set that standard, like, you are valuable, you are important, you are loved, and anybody that wants to come into your life has to match that same energy.
Yeah, I understand that. Like, and now, what me being a father, first of all, there is no blue plan or blueprint.
There's no book you can read about this.
On how to be a father. So the most thing I do is just trying to make sure, even if I don't have all the money in the world, as long as I have my children around me, I can make them laugh. I can make them see that even with all of that, I can still put a smile on your face. You understand? They're still growing, and I still got a long year to go. You have more experience than I do, because your children are more older than my children.
Yes.
So I'm learning every day. I got a boy and a girl, and my boy is so special because he looks up to me every time, and he's just like, Daddy, like asking me questions. Now even him is teaching me stuff. Like me, I don't know how to play piano. My son is so good in piano, and he'll be like, Daddy, listen to this. Come and sit with me. Oh, this is how you play it. So we're still learning. I'm still learning from, even like, I'm supposed to be teaching him, but also he's teaching me like things that I don't know. Like, and also the caring, to care for them. Like, okay, he knows that I'm the guy that takes him to the barber when it's time to get a haircut. Mommy probably do the cooking and the nurturing, but me, I have to make sure, okay, I have to give him the creativity of life, you understand? Things that is gonna do to make him become a man when he grows up. So education, I'm not that knowledgeable about education, but the little things that I know, I put it on top of him, like put it in him that, yo, so that when I'm not here anymore, at least you know. Now he doesn't know about girls and all this stuff. So, but in time, yes. I hope I live long enough to be able to share experience with him, so that, okay, this is how you treat a woman, which I didn't get that knowledge from my father, and I'm having difficulties with that because I'm just thinking, okay, how do you deal with this? Like also like looking into properties, buying houses. I never get to have that conversation with my father. But one of the things that I learned from him, he said one thing to me, like he was very proud of me. I showed him my music video because that was what I did, and I showed him my music video, and he said to me he was very proud of me, and that thing that he said to me resonates with me every time when I'm doing things that I'm doing right now in my life. I don't care if I'm rubbish at it, I don't care, but when that voice play back in my head, it always pushes me forward to know that he's watching over me and is guiding me and is protecting me. So that's one of the things that I think fatherhood is very important in household. And one of the things I've noticed about coming to United Kingdom, the negative side, a lot of homes is been broken.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of initially at the start of this podcast, we decided that we're going to focus mostly on the positivity.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, we need to look at the negative side of it. And by saying that, I would kind of put it across like this, like when a dad and a mom have a child and things don't work out for whatever reasons, there are usually spiteful games that get played, which is understandable because it's caused or it's as a result of being emotional. And by saying that, I'm not speaking from just the woman's side, I'm speaking from both the men's side. And we kind of need to take that out of the picture for a minute, because what that does is create animosity amongst both parties and can result in resentment from the child to the father. And the reason why I'm specifically saying that is because according to nature, the main carer for a child is the woman, because they have the nurturing abilities that some of us men do not have, because to be honest with you, we're not built that way. You know, I grew up loving my mom unconditionally. I took whatever my mom said to be the truth. But as I've grown older, I've learned that there's always two sides or three sides to stories.
Yeah.
So us as fathers, we need to make sure that we have this difficult conversation with our children, because the worst thing is for your child to not understand the full story, but to have resentment against you. I've got friends of mine, I'm nearly 40. I've got male friends of mine that have never spoken about their dads. They've never spoken about their dads, or even if they did, it's always in negative tone. And it makes me sad, because I look at that and I think to myself, okay, when you do become a father, I do hope that the scar, the trauma that you've suffered in the past, it's not going to affect your ability to be able to show your children unconditional love, regardless of what the situation with the mother is, you know.
And also, one of the things I'm gonna say is that, yeah, a lot of people said, oh, well, if your father is not in the picture, I can raise you. It's shout out to all the mothers out there.
Yes.
We're not discredit you for what you've done in our lives and everything, but it is important that we have a father role in the house.
Yes.
To teach us how to be a man. Yes. If you know, one thing that you notice about people that grew up in a single home from a mother is that we have emotions. We gather the trait of a woman from our mothers, because the father is not there. We get that feminist side of things, and on a father's role, we need the masculine things, like things that it will teach us to be strong as a man. You understand? To how to deal with our emotions and stuff like that. Yes. And when you are at home with mother, don't cry, or cry, don't cry. Do this. I don't know how to explain it properly, but basically what I'm saying, that male role in the house will always give you that edge over somebody that grew up in a household full of women.
Okay, just to kind of touch on that, what I would say is that there are women out there that are doing a great job of of doing the duties of a father and a mother. We're not taking that away from them, and I would never encourage a woman to stay with a man that's abusive just because of the children. I'm dead against that. But the point we're trying to make is this, that we matter as well. We love our children. The emotional trauma that we suffer as fathers, nobody listens to us.
Nobody.
Some men actually need counseling.
Yep.
Some men have been traumatized. Some men, the decisions that they've made in their own life stem from the trauma that they've suffered in the past, mostly to do with their upbringing. So we need to start understanding that some of the decisions is not just made out of emotions. Some of them are made out of past trauma. So yes, fathers do need love. Yes, some fathers are not fathers because they don't know how to deal with the responsibility of being a dad. Me, myself, I've had to do a lot of learning, especially in the last 4 or 5 years. And I'm still learning. And I pray to God that I live long enough to be able to instill the important skills, important life skills into my children, so that they can come into this world, grow into this world, to have the skills that they need to be able to actually survive in this cold world that we're living in.
Especially to boys as well, because they get to a certain age that they think that, okay, I'm old enough now, I'm a man now, I don't need to listen to my mom. So if that father figure is not at home, they go out to go and find it outside with their friends. And it depends on what their friends are doing. If you have friends that's doing positive things, that's good. But if you have friends that's doing negative things, they will lead you to things that that can easily take your life. And for example, most of the young men that's losing their life in the streets right now is because they don't have that father figure at home that to educate them and tell them like, yo, there's more to life than you trying to be in the street. If my son grow older now, I'll tell him, I'll use my experience to let him know how the street is. If you want to go to the street, I will try and give you advice, the best advice I can, like to let you know, like, yo, the street ain't what it is. It will give you what you want, but sometimes you have to be very careful out there because the streets can be dangerous. Mm-hmm. You understand? So, and as like you said, a lot of men need counseling. Especially, I've seen a lot of men in my surroundings that are walking around like zombies. They don't know what to do. They are so depressed because obviously you love your children. I don't care what anybody will say to me. If the way God gave me a gift of life, I will look after that gift. Unless situation happens of not letting me be in especially in the environment that we live in, because as soon as anything goes wrong in the household, okay, you don't want to be with him, we can help you out, you can have your own place, you don't need him, you stay this way, you stay that way, and then we're gonna start having issue with each other of how to keep the children. And mostly the women get to keep the children, and fathers, there's some fathers that actually want to be in the life of their children, but if we don't have the right to be in their life, how can we work together?
So just to kind of touch on that as well, we are not saying that most of the issue with the young people that are losing their lives or going in jail now is to do with them living with a single mom. That's definitely not what we're saying. What we're saying is the family structure is important. It's very important, because with having the right guidance in place and the right structure, there's more chance that you can save a child from being influenced by their social surroundings. You know, because let's not deceive ourselves by saying that parents are the one that raise children 100% of the time. No, because we need to be mindful of the fact that YouTube is there, internet is there, school is there, there's social peer pressure. These are things that kind of like shape the mind of a young child. But with the parents there, because one thing I can say is that when a child comes from a solid family unit, the support system is in place. The attention is there for the child. The chance of them seeking that validation
From outside.
or attention from outside influences would be reduced. So what we're basically trying to achieve with this podcast, especially this episode, is that yes, parents can go through disagreements, parents could break up, but please, if the father is responsible, because at the end of the day, if it takes for a woman to have a child with a man to realize how irresponsible that man is, then it screams volume about the choice of man that you attract. I'm just putting it out there. But taking that away from the conversation we're having, if the man is a responsible individual in terms of he shows his children genuine love, don't use those children against him.
Mm-hmm.
It happens a lot.
Yep.
And I'm not even saying it's a black thing. It happens a lot. But we need to reduce that, because my parents' generation, yes, they did a lot of sacrifices. They stayed in marriage because of the children and this and that. For all you know, that might be the reason why some of us are here today, to be able to testify to all we're doing now. But I'm not excusing that, and I'm not saying women should stick in a dead-end relationship. But yes, once you decide that you don't want to be with that person, take your emotions out of the picture and focus on the children, because their development, their support, their well-being should be our main focus.
Yes, I agree with that as well. And also to the men, like, I know a lot of pressure is out there for you to be a provider, to be the main hero, and we need you to be focused in life. I know sometimes life may not go the way we plan. The most important thing is that your mind should be at peace.
Yeah. Because if you're, one thing I can say for a fact to fathers is, if you're not at peace, if you're not looking after yourself, and your mind is not in the right place, you won't have the ability to care or show love to anyone else. So what we're saying is, fathers, look after yourselves.
Yeah.
I pray to God that I see myself in my 70s, 80s, but there's an epidemic amongst our community where fathers are dying young.
Yep.
Fathers are dying young, and also I want to use this platform and this opportunity to say rest in peace to the father that lost his life recently from protecting a 16-year-old son on a bus. I wish him safe journey to heaven, and I wish the family that's left on earth peace of mind. Easier said than done, but this is the issue that we're dealing with. The man died from protecting his son at the age of 40 through knife, through stabbing. So what that actually, when I heard that, it actually worried me, because it made me feel like, so knife crime doesn't even have an age limit, because someone that's 40, you would have thought, oh, he's probably past that era, but he was looking after his son, 16-year-old son, and he lost his life because of this. So yes, guys, we're gonna leave it on that topic, and hopefully, if there's any ideas from especially women, mothers that are currently going through issue with the father of their children, watch this video, leave your comments. We don't know it all, but sharing idea is always a good thing for us to resolve the problem that we're facing in our community. So on that subject, thank you very much, guys.
Thank you very much. I'm getting emotional right here, bro.
So we'll be seeing you guys real soon, and the next episode will be up real soon. Take care, guys. See you soon.
Bye.